Hey, what's going on, people? As a lot of you guys already know, what happened last night here in Las Vegas, um, the Mandalay Bay shooting. I guess a lot of us are lucky that we weren't in that situation. And then, first off, I would like to give my condolences to the friends and family of the victims. Last night, at around, I would say about 9 o'clock, I was at McDonald's, and towards headed that route by Mandalay, and all I saw was police cars, maybe about 10, 20, 30 of them, right? Um, I didn't I didn't necessarily see what was going on, but all I saw was a police car. But it was kind of unusual, um, you know, in Las Vegas for that many cruisers to haul ass on the freeway. So I was on, like I said, I was I was on the side of the road. You know what I mean? I was in my car, just got back from McDonald's and going home. Um, and everybody at the gas station actually was like, "Hey man, what's going on?" Yelling at their cars and stuff like that. What the hell's going on? I was like, it's something big. I thought it was something big, and it was, because I went on my phone right away and found out that it's about a quarter mile down where I was at, and there was some shooting. And I guess it's about 58, close to 60 people dead now, about 500 plus injured. Um, I thought I'd give you guys my thoughts on this. You can never be prepared. You can't. As a community or even as a society, we are all reactive to a situation rather than be proactive. You can never train for something like this. Background on me: I did 13 years in the U.S. Army. I spent a year in Afghanistan. I spent a year in Iraq, and the first gunshots and mortar rounds that hit your base, close to you. You all the training and all that stuff goes away. But if there's one thing that I learned, is not to panic. You cannot panic, and take cover. That's all I can say. It was kind of hard, being that the active shooter, had a automatic rifle, I believe. It's kind of hard to get. He had to be modified. That I'm a gun enthusiast. I own a few guns, ARs and handguns, but you cannot buy those unless, like I said, it was modified, and that's what I'm assuming. He modified it. And from 32nd floor of Mandalay Bay, where he actually used a hammer and bust out the window so he could actually shoot at people. It took some. I believe that he studied that. He'd been planning that for weeks, even months. That's why, that's how I get it. It was tough for those people because they were sitting ducks there. They were out in the open, especially from a perspective from a shooter pointing down and shooting like that. Man, those bullets are just as faster than if it was on a plain sight. I mean, on a even playing field. So that was tough. What I could have done: run for cover, try to run away from the damn area as much as possible. Some people, they actually stood there, and of course, because they're panicking and nervous and shocked. That's the real initial reaction. So I couldn't blame him for that. Especially, it was unexpected. But like I said, we as a community or society, we are reactive rather than proactive. And once you start hearing that stuff, man, you got to get out the way. Get out the sight. Take cover. You don't just you hear gunshots and all you do is just stand around and look around. No, if you may even for a second think that it was a gunshot, or even if a damn tire blow out and you feel like it was a gunshot, man, leave, go, take cover, get down, do something. Unfortunately for some of those guys that were injured, based on the news today, they didn't really have a chance. I mean, they had alcohol in their system. They were all drunk. And like I said, it was just a matter of who's going to get shot. There was a lot of people there. And like I said, send my condolences to them. But this is unfortunate that it happened to us. But now, a lot of people are obviously pointing the blame to the gun community, the gun enthusiasts like myself, and the NRA. They're gonna get a big hit on this. But that's nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with it. If you guys check out the background of this shooter, he didn't really have a background. I mean, the cops even said that he didn't have any priors. I'd be surprised if he even had a damn speeding ticket. You know, a 64-year-old man in a retirement community, a nice community. He had an accounting background. He had everything that a retired guy would ask for. You know, no kids, no wife. He got a girlfriend that's overseas. I mean, he just stayed in Mandalay Bay gambling and stuff like that. He got money. He had a brother that was interviewed recently earlier that's in Florida, supposedly helped him out, moved to Mesquite here in Las Vegas. I mean, there was no tell. There was no tell. Even the brother's surprised that he even owned guns. You know what I mean? He even owned automatic rifles. So the lesson to this is, you know, like I do this stuff too, you know, like sometimes I'm kind of a paranoid when I take my family and kids to somewhere, mall or movie theater. You just look for some exits, man. You know, look for what would I do if the guy in front of me or next to me start doing something crazy? Should I grab him? Should I run for cover? You know what I mean? You have a plan everywhere you go, especially crowds. I avoided crowds for a long time, and I keep telling my wife that, you know, avoid crowds, ever since 9/11. I said, you never know when these motherfuckers are going to attack, whether terrorists or non-terrorists, or whether it's our own people. You got to have a plan, you know. It's unfortunate that some of us, you know, think that this would never happen. You know, even at fucking McDonald's, man, you know, what if somebody just starts shooting in this motherfucker? Now, what would I do? You know what I mean? Have a plan, you know, so you be proactive rather than reactive. It sucks, man. This dude, like I said, was somebody that we never thought that would do something like this. And all over Vegas right now, there's cops all over. Like I said, last night, I saw about 30 cruisers pass by, and they were hauling ass. I mean, shit, I was stopped, and I was like, this is fucking unusual. There's something going on. But I said my first thought was, you know, I thought somebody had fucking gone crazy inside the casino, because a couple months ago, there was a couple of kids that went and brought some guns inside the casino, and, you know, but they didn't do anything spectacular, unlike this one. So I thought that's my first thought. I was like, oh, somebody fucking lost money in the casino and just going off, man. But this was much more serious than that. This guy actually had about 10 weapons with him. He had tons of ammo, and he had an automatic rifle. You can hear that from some of the videos that's on YouTube right now. That shit is not semi. That shit is full-on automatic. I have some ARs that I have messed with the trigger, but it's not as fast as that. Hell, even Jerry Mitchell can fucking fire that fast. You know, so it definitely is an automatic rifle. I'm assuming it doesn't sound like an AK though. It sounds like an AR, but I'm sure we'll know more. But as of right now, man, condolences to the friends and family of those who's been a victim. But that sucks, man. Las Vegas, it is a playground of America, but it could also be the cemetery. It sucks. It sucks. You know, my phone's been blowing off all morning, you know, from my family in California saying, are we okay? I said, yeah, we're fine, you know, but shit. All of us, man, any of us could have easily been in that situation. And it's tough, but the best thing you could do, like I said, is just have a plan when you go into those crowds. You know, especially when you have kids with you. Hopefully I didn't hear any kids that were hurt, but definitely a lot of people were shot. I mean, there's even videos out there that showing actually lifeless bodies and stuff. Like I said, imagine if, I don't know if it's a 7.62, 5.56, or 2.23, but man, any of those damn rounds coming from 32nd floor, pointing down about 400 yards, shit, it could be anybody's fucking head, could, you know. And I think the background of this guy, a 64-year-old man, single, no kids, moved to Mesquite, lived in Texas, Alaska. He had a hunting license, nothing major. I don't know, man, but you know, there's a lot of angles to this. He could be recently be in debt, or found out that he was dying of cancer or something like that, or he could just fucking snap, man. But from what I understood, he didn't even have a military background. So he couldn't have no, one of those post-traumatic syndrome, PTSD, but he could have PTSD from work. But he's retired in a nice community, not too far from me. His house are fucking taped up with caution tape from police. I mean, all over, man. You can't even get there. But everybody at work, everybody in school, I went to school this morning, and they're just stunned by that. But life goes on, like I said, just got to prepare yourself, And I hope that the NRA and gun enthusiasts, gun owners don't get too many hits about this, because, you got a lot of liberals that fucking gonna blame it on guns. It has nothing to do with fucking guns, This guy was not a felon. This guy was not a criminal. Didn't even have any priors. Like I said, didn't even probably have a speeding ticket, no parking ticket. It's nothing to do with criminals. It's nothing to do. It's something to do with just fucking guy that just snaps. This guy was legal and legal to purchase any weapon he could. They didn't mention if he had a concealed carry weapons license, but he could have one of those easily. But somebody had to seen him with bags or duffel bags or fucking big ass bags rolling those rifles to his 32nd room. Somebody seen this guy with a big ass bag, unless he broke all of them down in 2 pieces, but still. I mean, a guy that's hauling fucking 2, 3, 4, 5 bags to his room, it's a telltale sign. It could be the fucking chopped up dead bodies, or it could be bombs, or somebody had to see this in a camera. Whoever was in a surveillance camera in the casino should have been like, hold on, what is this guy fucking hauling shit in his room? I mean, he's only, check the damn records. They could do that in casino very easily, very quickly. Who is this guy? Is he with 10 family members? Does he have kids with him? No, he's by himself. Why is he hauling 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 bags in his room? That was the tell sign, I always wanted to be in surveillance industry. Like I said, that's what I'm going for. I'm going to school right now for criminal justice, but, there's all kinds of, this could have been prevented if we really wanted to, but, we get very, very complacent, especially in a city like this, Las Vegas. Complacency, man. Complacency kills all the time. Hell, even when I'm at home with my kids, shit, I got my fucking gun, you know what I mean? You never fucking know. And my wife always tells me, you're paranoid. I said, I'm not fucking paranoid. I'm just ready. I load my fucking weapons while I'm there. And then, when my kids are around, I take them away from them. I try to get them as safe as possible. But shit, you got to be ready at all times. You don't know who's going to fucking come to your house. Or even so, there's hundreds of people there in Mandalay Bay last night. And not one of them had any weapons that could, within the 32nd floor or within those floors. I'm sure you could hear the fucking fires. The next door, unless it was empty, the next door room could have easily said, hey, there's some fucking gunshots coming from, there's some loud noises. And it's not a video game. I mean, you could tell from a video game. Somebody, it took them a long time to figure that shit out. They waited for the cops, to try to save themselves. I don't blame them for it, but, there's just not enough patriotic people, I guess, in our country anymore willing to somewhat, not sacrifice, but, you know what I mean, somewhat do something for a lot of people. Heroes die. I get it. A lot of people say that, but you don't have to die. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame the NRA or the gun enthusiasts at all myself, but a lot of people are doing that online. That's why I made this video. It has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with it. If anything, we need more trained people in our community. More classes of how to protect yourself from an active shooter. Shit, they teach this everywhere, man, not just in the military. How to protect yourself, how to react, how to be proactive, even at the damn food court, movie theaters, malls, start looking for stuff, man. Like, what am I going to do if, that motherfucker 10 feet away from me pull out a gun and stuff, you know what I mean? I got my kids with me, I'm in a food court, I'm eating. What if somebody just fucking pull out a gun over here and start shooting? What should I do? Nobody ever think that way, Maybe I'm crazy for thinking like that, but nobody ever think that way. Sometimes being paranoid, man, is better than being because because shit happened.